Welcome back, Raider Nation, to the Raider D podcast. I am your host, Mike Dean, aka the Raider D, and today we're going to be talking about two tackles that the Las Vegas Raiders drafted. I haven't done a scouting report on them yet, and I've been doing a deep dive into them, and I'm going to share my thoughts and opinions with you on these two guys as my cats go crazy in the background having a WWE wrestling match, which is they usually like to do. Now listen, today we're going to get into a guy by the name of Caleb Rogers and another tackle that the Las Vegas Raiders drafted named Charles Grant, and how this is going to overall help the Las Vegas Raiders, because last year one of the things that we had an issue was with the offensive line, particularly at depth of the offensive line, and I think that the Las Vegas Raiders really knocked these two draft picks out of the park, despite the fact that one of them being from a very small school called William and Mary. We're going to get into all that and more in today's episode of the Raider D podcast. Now, before we get into that, I do just want to say thank you to my guy Kevin over at Box House. If you have not checked them out yet, I'm going to drop his phone number and the link to the website over there in the description, so go ahead and check them out. Listen, if you need an ADU, if you need a tiny house, they can deliver anywhere. They have a bunch of different models. It is very competitively priced. Go and check them out. Box House is a beautiful, wonderful product. You've got to see it to believe it. It's absolutely amazing. So thank you to Box House for being a sponsor of the Raider D podcast and supporting Raider Nation. Let's get into today's video. I want to talk a little bit about this guy named Caleb Rogers. Now, why is this such a big deal? He was picked in the third round. He's a third round guy, picked number 98 overall in the NFL draft. He played for 5 years at Texas Tech, which is not a small school. You know, they definitely put out some very high quality players over there. He amassed 55 career starts, second most in the school history, demonstrating that he has exceptional durability and versatility, and this is very important for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, Rogers started primarily at the right tackle position, but also, he logged significant snaps at the left tackle and both guard positions. So I could see Rogers absolutely being a swing tackle, swing guard type of guy anywhere up and down the line, a great depth piece for his rookie season. And we're going to get into his upside as well. At 6'5", 310 pounds, so he is a big boy. Not the biggest one out there, but he definitely has the size. He's very athletic at running a 5.10 second 40-yard dash. That is the 81st percentile for offensive linemen. He's a thick, built, sturdy guy with good arm length and play strength. Now let's get into some of his strengths, okay? Rogers started at 4 of 5 offensive line positions, including 13 in 2024. He started 10 at right tackle, 2 at left guard, 1 at right guard, and he played over 4,200 career snaps. Listen, longevity, durability, you're only as good as your availability. This guy is going to be available in the NFL. Now, his run blocking, he is sturdy at it, and he is an effective run blocker with quickness to execute wide zone and pull assignment skills that fit well with the Raiders' zone-heavy run scheme that we will be running under Chip Kelly's offense. Rogers excels at angle drive, base, and kick-out blocks using his size and strong hands to secure rushing lanes. He's a tough guy and a consistent guy. He's known for his passion and his energy. Remind you of a JPJ? Rogers rarely missed a snap and played through multiple seasons as a team leader. Coaches and scouts praise his competitive drive and love for the game. He has anchor and strength in abundance. In his pass protection, Rogers displays a firm anchor and a strong punch to absorb bull rushes with enough lateral quickness to handle inside rushes. Now, he does have some weaknesses. No prospect is perfect, and neither is Caleb Rogers. Pass protection versus speed. This is one of his weaknesses. Rogers can struggle a bit against the quicker edge rushers, and sometimes he's a little late in reacting to stunts and twists, which may limit his upside as a full-time tackle in the NFL. So these are some things that he's got to work on, and we have a great staff with the Las Vegas Raiders. I have no doubt that Caleb Rogers will be able to improve on this as he continues his career over the next several years with the Las Vegas Raiders. Another weakness that he has been dogged on is his lower body strength. Some analysts question whether he has the lower body strength to consistently uphold against the interior rush of today's NFL caliber defensive linemen. Now, his ceiling, while reliable, Rodgers is still viewed more as a high floor, low ceiling prospect, likely to be a solid backup, a spot starter rather than a long-time starter. Now, here's some of the projections of what people have put out about him. His immediate role is expected he's going to compete for a backup or in a rotational role, both at guard and tackle. His long-term outlook is with experience and versatility, Rodgers could develop into a valuable swing lineman or even push for a starting guard spot if he adapts to the pro game and improves his lower body strength. Team context, the Raiders prioritized offensive line upgrades in 2025 drafts and seeking toughness and consistency after struggles in previous seasons. Rodgers, alongside with fellow draftee Charles Grant, is a part of a broader effort to bolster this line and establish a more physical identity under this new regime of Pete Carroll. Now, he's only one of two guys I wanted to talk about, so let's jump into the other standout guy. And I think even though he comes from a very small school of William and Mary, Charles Grant is an absolute stud who I think could end up turning into a monstrous star as an offensive lineman. The Las Vegas Raiders 2025 NFL Draft was widely praised for addressing key needs and finding value throughout all the rounds. The class was headlined by first-round running back, obviously, in Ashton Jeanty, but the team also invested heavily in the trenches, which is what we had been talking about all off-season. Drafting Charles Grant from William Mary with the 99th overall draft pick in the third round, this was a great move for the Las Vegas Raiders. The class received a consensus B from Sports Illustrated, and multiple analysts highlighted the Raiders' ability to find scheme fits and developmental upside without reaching for prospects. So what makes Charles Grant so good? Let's get into some of his strengths, and I'll point out some of his weaknesses through all of my scouting research that I've done on this kid. Grant is a nimble, he is a twitchy athlete with outstanding range and lateral quickness. His movement skills are rare for a player of his size, allowing him to mirror edge rushers and climb to the second level in the run game, which is going to be key with Ashton Jeanty. Zone run blocking, he thrived at William & Mary's zone-heavy run scheme, showing burst, quickness, and timing to execute backside cutoffs, combination blocks, and ease second-level targets, and erase second-level targets. Pass protection, Grant's long arms and flexible lower body help him to keep defenders at bay. He's adept at playing long, maintaining a flat back posture, and using his wrestling background to manipulate defenders. This is key because he has great hands and ability that a lot of tackles just don't have when they're coming out of college. They have to further develop that. He's already got it. Physicality and effort, something that the Raiders have been hawking on since Pete Carroll took over the team, as well as John Spytek at general manager. He consistently finishes his blocks, he plays with a competitive edge, and he shows excellent effort and strain once latched onto defenders. Physical effort is definitely there all day and every single day, every down. He's going to bring it 100%. Versatility and upside. While he played exclusively left tackle in college, his size and athleticism suggest a potential to develop as either a guard or a tackle in the NFL. I think that drafting him was genius because if we lose Colton Miller due to a standout or we can't get him re-signed and he's not here next year, you got to have a replacement. Charles Grant could certainly fit that bill. Now, weaknesses. This is a few things that he has to work on. Grant played exclusively at the FCS level. This is below the FBS. So there are questions about how quickly he can adjust to NFL caliber defenders. Remember, you're going basically against boys to men when it comes to college to the NFL. And then when you play in the FCS versus the FBS, it's an even bigger leap. So the question remains, will he be able to make that adjustment quick enough for him to stay on this team? His anchor mass, he does lack a little bit in the ideal bulk and so-called sand in the pants, which could limit his ability to anchor against power rushers early in his career. He is a little bit raw. His footwork can be jerky and undisciplined at times, and he needs to refine his punch timing, pad level, and hand usage in the pass protection. Development needed. Grant is viewed as a high upside project who will likely need time to acclimate and add some strength before becoming a full-time starter. Listen, his fit with the Raiders is basically this. Grant is considered one of the most compelling small school, high upside investments in 2025 NFL draft. His athletic profile, wrestling background make him a strong fit for head coach Pete Carroll's zone-based rushing attack and Chip Kelly. Analysts believe he could contribute as a versatile depth piece immediately, with the upside to eventually develop into a starting caliber tackle or guard if he continues to develop physically and technically. CBS Sports and Sports Illustrated both gave the pick high marks, with CBS calling it one of my favorite project tackles in the entire draft, and SI grading it as an A for the Raiders. The consensus is that Grant's rare movement skills, length, and competitive demeanor make him an ideal developmental prospect for a team looking to build a physical, athletic, offensive line that is mean, that is gritty, and we get back to that Raider way. Drop comments down below. I'll read as many as I can and respond to as many as I can.